What's happening, everybody, and welcome to episode 82 of the Good Kraken podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ernell Pearson, alongside the 5-star man with the 10-finger plan, and he's still kind of sick, Devin Stanford.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a bit better, but
I can tell. I can tell. Yeah.
I have my voice back for the most part. I still feel like nasal pressure, because let's be real out there, guys. COVID's a real thing. It's spreading faster than it ever has before.
That's facts.
And it's gotten to the point where we live in a major city, and a lot of times you can't even get a at-home test anywhere. They're sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
And most appointments that you schedule will take, most places will only be available 5 to 10 days out from the day that you're trying to even schedule the appointment.
Dog.
That's what I've been running into this whole time. For a week and a half now.
Yikes. It's dude, it's the fucking state of the United States right now is just absurd, man. This pandemic's got everybody fucked up at the moment. Just got an email earlier on before we went live that my kid's school might potentially go back to school from home. And I guess they have to take Thursday and Friday off to discuss it with their staff. And I'm like, you guys can't just make the fucking decision? Can you just make the fucking decision?
And I'm not trying to make this like super political right now or anything like that, but it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to me that COVID is worse than it's ever been, right? Even with people being vaccinated. And there is no government support this time around.
Dude, it's just
interesting enough with a change of administration that you think everything would have gotten better, right? in this scenario. But the whole US for the grander part of service industry and everything was shut down for almost 6 months because of COVID.
Yep.
With little support. This time we have no support and no shutdowns or anything going on. And I know probably about 36 people who have COVID right now.
Dude, yeah.
Oh, dude, it's everywhere. Oh my god,
it's all over the fucking place. Dude. It's literally it was not even this bad when the pandemic first started. My guy, this is absurd. It's insane. DJ in the chat says the states are in shambles. The first 2 weeks of my classes moved to online. It says take my prime from my sick booster ridden body. DJ, we love
DJ,
you.
I love
dude.
you.
We fucking
Thanks for hanging out earlier.
We also have the Crimson Chin himself, Garrick B. Eaton. How you doing, baby?
What's up, y'all? I'm tired.
I know. We're big sleepies here. We're trying to hit the gas for all y'all at home.
Dude,
we're just
all gas, no brakes.
Gas, no brakes.
Yeah, man. We all woke up hitting the brakes, just pounding the shit out of those brakes this morning, man. We before we went live, we were talking about how all of us are on this weird fucky sleep schedule right now. I'm now unemployed, so I'm not working. Devin hasn't been working because he potentially has had COVID. Garrick's sleep schedule's been fucked for months now because he works this weird schedule. So he's as tired all the fucking time. It's a good Kraken's a fucking mess, y'all, and the world is a fucking mess too. You know what I mean? And we're just a big part of that good old COVID ocean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it breaks my heart, man. It breaks my goddamn heart, dude. Guys, I missed you though. I feel like we don't do this as often as I would like to do this with you guys. Obviously, we want to one day, but I wish I just sometimes over the weekend I'd be sitting here and I'm like, oh, I kind of wish I could just be banging news with the bros. You know what I'm saying?
If you ever want to, Ernell, you can always reach out to me if you want to do a random weekend gameplay. I'm always open for that.
I know. I know you are. But, we've talked about this. You know what I mean? It's it's what the people want. You know what I mean? It's what the people.
I'm
want.
sure.
It's
I'm
what
sure the
we
people.
want.
Yeah. Look. DJ wants more Bang Bros. Bang with the bros. See, he said it. He wants more Bang Bros.
He does want more Bang Bros. He definitely wants more Bang Bros. And you guys at home probably also want some Bang Bros, because tonight we're talking Netflix embarrassing themselves, how not to play Pokemon games, the video game GOAT, and much, much more, because this is the Good Kraken Podcast, your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 12 p.m. If you're riding this wave, you can head on over to patreon.com/goodkrakenshow, where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive post-show content, and have early access episodes before they go live on podcasts and video services across the digital sea. Let's go, baby. But if you've emptied your pockets for the latest and greatest in entertainment, that is totally fine. You can watch us record the show live right here at twitch.tv/goodkrakenshow. If you're watching live, you have a very important job. You can head on over to Fact Check in the official Good Kraken Discord channel. You guys want to link them in the chat? Hit them in the chat with that.
Yeah.
Where you
Discord
can keep us humble and correct when we screw up information during the show. If you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime. We would love for you to give that to us to help keep us pushing content out for all of you listening and or watching at home. But you can also support us by going... Yes, just like DJ. Just like DJ. We love you, DJ.
Yes.
We fucking love you, DJ. God damn, he's a good
Prime
kid.
Gaming.
He's a good kid. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, by clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there.
Review.
Garrick. Review.
What?
We have some captain's orders, my friend. We are almost to 100 subscribers on YouTube. Invite your fucking friends to the family. We have 4 left. We are 4 away from 100 subs on YouTube. 4 subscribers away from us officially getting a Good Kraken URL on
Make
there.
it happen.
Guys, we're at episode 82. If we don't have 100 subscribers by episode 100, I'm done.
with Good Kraken or with more? Because I mean, like, I'm talking more. I don't know. I don't condone anything, but like, I may or may not like stick my face on the toaster. That's how that phrase works, right?
Stick my face on the toaster.
That's that phrase, right?
Sounds so aggressive.
While it's in a 5-gallon bucket of water.
No, that's deadly. That's deadly.
Not trying to kill, just maim.
I want to hurt myself so I can guilt trip people, not kill myself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
just stick your pinky finger in the socket.
Larry in the chat, what's happening, Larry, baby? We love you, dude. If Good Kraken gets 100 subs, I will leak my feet pics.
Look,
y'all heard it.
Your incentive.
Y'all heard it right here from DJ Simphex. You better follow, get us to 100, and you will see.
He pampers his feet. Like when he goes and gets a pedicure, he puts his feet in the little bowl with all the little fishies and everything. No dead skin on that motherfucker.
Exfoliate those toes.
Smooth like a baby's bottom.
I fucking love it. You know, this is really smooth, Devin. My segues, because we're moving right into little waves.
Oh yeah, with the little fishies.
With the little fishies. Let's fucking go, baby. Devin, what is little waves, my guy?
All right, so if this is your first time ever listening, little waves are when we take stories that aren't as important to dive into, like there's just not enough meat to them, but we still feel like mentioning them because they're either cool or you should know about it. So
Yep.
With that being said, Dying Light 2 will take at least 500 hours to fully complete. We know Ernell's not completing that game. This news took to the internet by storm, and there were those who felt that 500 hours was a bit of a daunting mission to undertake. I kind of agree. Techland quickly put those fears to rest by saying that the enormous amount of time to reach 100% was reached by doing literally everything, and most players will be able to finish the main story and side quests in under 100 hours. 500 hours is related to maxing out the game, finishing all the quests, endings, and exploring every part of the world. But a regular player should finish the story plus side quests and do quite a lot of exploring in less than 100 hours. So do not worry, Techland wrote. That's still a big game.
That's a fucking
Even
lot,
100
boys.
hours.
God
Even
damn
100
it.
hours is a big game. Most Final Fantasy games are only
fucking
like 40
here
to
for
60,
it.
y'all.
God damn, son. That's a fucking
Most-
lot.
Yeah, most Final Fantasies are only 40 to 60. What is this fucking shit? Is this DayZ?
Get-
Because yo,
get-
I got like 4,000 hours
I
of
was about to say,
DayZ.
yeah. Garrick's hot to trot about this though, Garrick. This is your game, dude. Are you stoked on this?
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, you guys, I've been tweeting about this shit, and I've been retweeting like the countdown to the days of the release. Like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I mean, when you really look at it, like analytically, 500 hours is about the same amount of time to like 100% complete Skyrim. You know, side quest collectibles.
Yeah.
Getting every armor and weapon, the whole shebangle, right? So it's like, it's weird that they use that as like a marketing technique. Like, I don't know that I agree with that, because that's a big ass number, and that's going to turn off some people. They're just going to be like, that's
already has.
just too much game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people and companies who do use like the validity of hours as like the quality of the game, or the value of how much money you're spending, right? There are a lot of people who take that into a sense. Yeah, Griff, welcome, by the way. 100 hours 100 hours is 8 hours a day for 12 days.
It's a fucking
Yeah,
lot of
but
games, my guy.
But I
Yeah.
will say this. Dying Light, the first game, did not have 500 hours worth of gameplay content to
Yeah.
chew through.
Yeah.
But there are dozens of screenshots of people in threads about that are just like, I easily like put over 2,000 hours in this game. Like, there are people that just put colossal amounts into this game. And so this is just going to be like, yeah, cool. That's just more for me to do with the time that I'm spending into it, because like this game has such a cult following. The people that want that are going to get it. Like, you know, it's definitely one of those things that like, I'm glad you can still chew through the campaign in 20 hours, like they said.
Yeah.
But like the fact that those diehard fans are going to have all of that, you know, world to explore, that's really cool for those people that do want it.
Yeah, the availability to play it the way that you want to is honestly a little admirable. Obviously they wouldn't have done it if there wasn't a demand for it, right? So
Exactly.
Yep.
There's just a lot to it, which like I'm getting kind of excited for this game. I haven't been that hyped for it because I've been fixated on Starfield, and that like in my mind, Starfield and Elden Ring are like the two RPGs that I just like want to dive into, especially knowing that Elden Ring co-op is Dying Light 2 campaign co-op.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
The first game was campaign co-op. That's like it's like
Okay.
my favorite zombie title ever. Like
I'd be
super
more
stoked
interested
for
in
this.
that because I liked Techland's first zombie game.
Dead Island.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love Dead Island. But yeah, we'll have to see what's going on when that game comes out. Can all three of us play?
I don't think it's
four player, just like the original.
Get the fuck out. It's 4?
Splash damage?
Splash damage,
Yeah,
boys.
baby.
Let's
Splash
go.
damage.
Let's go. I'm so here for it, dog. I'm so here
right,
for it. What's something that people are not here for, though, Devin?
Oh, I'm really not here for this anyways because I wasn't here for it in the first place, so I'm not. I just don't care. But I know what you did last summer. Canceled after one season on Prime Video. As reported by Deadline, Prime Video's young adult horror series was met with a mixed reception and unfortunately will not return for a season 2. While the series won't continue, Prime Video is still a great home for other young adult series like The Wilds, Fairfax, and the upcoming The Summer I Turned Pretty. Yeah, don't care about any of these.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
had no idea there was a series based on I know what you did last summer. I literally had
you
no
know
idea.
why? Because you probably saw an ad for it, but the marketing for this show was so shit you couldn't even tell it was for I Know What You Did Last Summer, because it just felt like Teen Wolf. It felt like another Teen Wolf commercial every single time I saw it, and it was yikes. It was a big fucking yikes because it was another Teen Wolf. It was another what's that other show that's like supposed to be based off Peanuts? Fucking damn it, what's the name of the show? It has the Cole brothers in it.
I have no idea.
Yeah, no,
I have no idea.
It's one of those things. Chat, let me know if you guys know what I'm talking about. It was just another teen fucking show, and like you guys know I love horror content. I love horror movies, but like this piqued zero interest in my brain. I'm glad it got canceled.
Yeah. And I want you guys to know that the
Yeah.
Chucky TV series was renewed for a season 2 because
Let's
it was
fucking go.
actually good.
It was actually good. There you
good
go.
horror
There you
content.
go.
Yeah, because guess what? They got the original cast from all the movies to do that show too.
Yeah, dude. Well, and DJ in chat says Prime Video is lacking, honestly.
It really is.
I have to say I agree, because like even outside of like The Boys and like Invincible, I have like unless it's something that I'm like in like wanting to rent because it's not a Amazon exclusive, I just have no interest in anything that's on Amazon.
If it wasn't included with my Amazon Prime just for getting things, day of delivery,
Sure. Yep.
I wouldn't have it, honestly. But it's just included with the plan, so I have it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I feel bad for people who only watch things through that source because their UI is fucking terrible too.
It's awful, dude. Their like continue watching thing is just so fucking bad.
Dude, it's the
Their
worst.
recommendation windows are just terrible. Like I just
Did you guys know that Hulu doesn't even have the continue watching?
Yeah, that was also another part why I didn't like Hulu that much. Esco with the sub, thank you, Esco.
Glide mouse pads, the only thing that'll keep me dry from a super sucker.
It's fun. It's funny. The guys at Glide like really liked our ad read, and I was like, "Fuck yes, let's go, baby, let's go, let's
That's
fucking
awesome.
go." You know what else is let's go, Devin? Tell the people what's next.
Yeah, this is Let's Go because Spider-Man No Way Home has secured its 4th domestic weekend box office victory. That's right. As reported by Variety, Spider-Man No Way Home has earned $668 million at the domestic box office so far and has surpassed Titanic's $658 million and Jurassic World's $652 million on the all-time list. With no sign of slowing down, it looks to overtake Avengers Infinity War's $678 million and Black Panther's $700 million. Globally, Spider-Man No Way Home has reached $1.53 billion and has become the 8th highest grossing film of all time. There you go, radio voice.
What
That's
a
absolutely
fucking
wild.
movie, boys. What a fucking movie.
Crazy.
I am so happy that this movie is as good as it is. I am also very happy that everyone else is in agreement that this movie is as good as it is. Because goddamn, Spider-Man No Way Home is fucking good. It is so good.
It is amazing.
How many times have you guys seen it?
Just the one.
Three times.
I've
Just
also
once.
seen it 3 times.
I was supposed to see it last week again, but this.
Right.
Esco, I love you.
Great. What's happening,
Go
Xander?
take a
What's
shower.
happening, Xander family?
Go touch
Hi,
some
babies.
grass. Go touch some grass, Esco. Go take a shower.
You love you, Esco. Joshy, baby. What's happening, baby? Yeah, dude. Spider-Man so fucking deserves this, dude. It's so fucking deserves this, dude.
It was my movie of the year. Like, hands down.
Goddamn.
It's like, I
Yeah.
mean, I wouldn't really expect less of it being an MCU movie being my movie of the year, but it's just genuinely a great movie.
It sure was.
Garrick, what was your movie of the year?
Yeah, I was just about to ask you. Well, yeah, what was yours? What would yours have been if you were
My
here on
movie of the
Saturday?
year?
Top three.
Dude.
Go from third, second, first.
Third, second, first.
Better
Third
tread
would
lightly,
be,
boy.
Third would be Shang-Chi.
Okay.
Second would be Spider-Man. First would be Dune.
Oh wow! That
Wow,
would have been,
so-
that would have been a good conversation.
So
Goddamn.
Garrick, my list, third was Dune, then my second was Shang-Chi, and then my first was Spider-Man.
Hell yeah! See, we were right there. We're right
Yeah.
there.
DJ says 3, no, 2, way, 1, home.
I haven't seen those movies.
I know. What are those? What are those? DJ?
Guess what? I guarantee you there are 3 movies all named that, and probably at least 10 with all the same name.
Oh, good lord, probably.
God damn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's wild. What's next?
Actually really cool news, and I know this has got Ernell fucking excited right now. Twisted Metal reboot reportedly switches developers to a Sony first-party studio. Can I get a hype in chat? Let's go.
Oh,
let's go.
Can you get a hype and
Yeah,
shot? Can you get a fucking
In a
get
report
hype
by
three?
VGCs, sources told the outlet that a reboot of the car combat series is still on the cards, but that it is no longer being developed by UK-based studio Lucid Games, which created PS5 exclusive Destruction All-Stars, and instead it has been handed over to one of its first-party studios in Europe. Sony's European studios include Guerrilla Games, Housemarque, and London studio Media Molecule, and other new acquisitions like Nexus and Firesprite. Who do you think is doing it? I think it's probably going to be. I think it might be Guerrilla. I think they might want to. Actually, that would make sense.
Yeah. I think Housemarque. They're pretty notorious for arcade likes, right? Like, I think Twisted Metal fits in that overall scene. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that what you think too, Garrick? Is Housemarque?
Yeah, Housemarque.
Yeah, I could see that. I can see that because
if not Housemarque, London Studio.
Yeah, I don't know what Blood and Truth is.
Garrick, I feel like you know Blood and Truth, right?
Pretty sure I played it, but I can't remember. It's like I don't remember when it came out.
It's an FPS, but it was like one of those FPSs that sort of like went really under the radar. It was from 2019, I want to say. It was like one of those sleeper hits. That it got like.
It was 2019. It got like an 8.3 on Metacritic. It did really well. It was just not talked about.
Look, I'm not trying to single anybody out, but I just think it's hilarious that we have somebody sitting in our chat that hasn't talked yet named Six Flags Magic Mountain.
First off, I love that. Okay. Secondly, I don't want us to get into the habit of calling people out that are reviewing because I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. But that name is fucking hype. That name's hype as shit.
It's only going to be in the case of that and Shrek the Musical.
I still think about us being watched by Shrek the fucking musical. That still hits my brain every once in a while.
They followed us too. I know, but moving on, speaking of funny shit, Elden Ring's character creator has leaked, and fans love how in-depth it is. Leaked by YouTuber ERSA, the character creator allows for making of much more natural-looking human characters than From Software's previous games. Part of that comes with the graphical fidelity of Elden Ring. While arguably not quite on par with the PS5 Demon's Souls remake, the characters are far more comparable and of a significantly higher quality than those seen in Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne. The hilarious part...
Boys, this shit looks good. This shit looks good.
You can do some crazy stuff with it.
Yeah. Did you see those screenshots of those goofy ass faces that people created?
Dude, yeah. Are you gonna make a goofy ass face? I'm probably gonna make a goofy ass face.
Yeah, I'm gonna put up some stuff for people to see at home.
Oh yeah, some of the shit's funny.
Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna make my most gorgeous hero defining looking person for my first playthrough, and then my second character is going to be goofy as fuck.
So first, let's talk about Ripped Shrek here. Ripped Shrek. This is looking like a snack. You know what I'm saying? We got Ripped Shrek. We have Shrek Goblin headshot thing over here. That's pretty wild. But the thing that I want to point out here, all jokes aside, the character creation looks bonkers here on the left. Okay, that shit looks wonderful. I am so excited for that.
Yeah, that's so detailed.
I'm just going to make my character look like Geralt, honestly.
Oh, Jesus, forgot to turn that off. my little intro noise that I made a while back.
Sorry, guys. Ernell's just dropping a deuce. His Secret Labs chair is a special edition. It's the toilet edition.
Get the fuck out of here. Continue on, Devin. Continue on.
Mine has magnets. His has got plumbing.
Oh my god. I'm so jealous of yours, damn it.
But Ernell, you have a PS5.
That's true. That is true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, my guy.
And I have a 3060.
You do. You definitely do. Yes, you definitely do. What does Garrick
All right,
have?
new Bella
Fucking air fryer. What a loser. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I have an air fryer. Am I a loser too? Actually, I don't know if you guys saw in the foodies chat on Discord. I posted a picture of that Traeger being used.
You sure did. You sure did, my guy. You sure
New
did.
Bel Air trailer shows a darker side of Fresh Prince. Speaking of Traegers, the new 3-minute trailer features main character Will Smith getting a phone call from his uncle, and his uncle asks, "Who is this?" as he moves in with his auntie and uncle in Bel Air for one more chance. The trailer reveals how Ernell did not notice what I just said of a prestige drama than a sitcom. With Will Smith as a troubled kid from West Philly trying to adapt to life in Southern California, the new series stars Jabari Banks, a West Philadelphia native who will play the character portrayed by Will Smith from 1990 to 1996. Smith himself surprised Banks with the news in a video that quickly went viral.
Yo,
Cool.
have you guys seen this trailer?
I have, and honestly, I'm big fucking sold on this. Like, honestly,
Me too.
I'm like contemplating getting Peacock for this fucking show because, like, I watched it. I was like, listen, I know about like 3 other shows that have this fucking story and theme in it. I'm still fucking here. I'm still so fucking
Dude,
here for
I'm
this.
watching
Dude.
it. We already have a Peacock subscription for like Psych and the Psych movies. But like, dude, we literally, I swear to you, we have it just for that, basically. But like, dude, I heard rumors that they were doing this, and I remember seeing the viral video when he told him he was like, "You're gonna play, Will Smith," and I was just like, "Let's go!" And they had some like test footage stuff then.
Yeah.
When the viral video went, and dude, this is gonna be gritty and it's gonna be tight, and I'm gonna watch the shit out of it because Fresh Prince is already it's my favorite sitcom ever, dude. So getting to see it in like a more serious tone,
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's
Just
gonna
a whole
fucking
new
be
take
rad.
on it. It
Yeah.
looks really good.
Cause
it looks
it-
really, really good.
Because that like essence of like straying away from like that comedy side of Fresh Prince and giving us this like, I know we talk about it a lot, but this more grounded feel of like a kid trying to like readjust his life to something entirely different from what he was used to is it. I'm here. I'm so fucking here for this, dude. I love when they do shit like this. It's also really cool too because apparently the idea was given because of a like fan-made trailer that was done a while back, and I guess that they have a part, like those people that made that fan-made trailer are got hired to be a part of this project, and
That's
is
awesome.
stellar, dude. I'm
I think,
100% here for this
like
movie.
you saying that's like one of my favorite things about like the creative industry in a whole, like whether it be video games or TV or movies, is people who take the time to be passionate about something and focus on something and release something, especially like fan made, whether it be mods or YouTube series or stuff like that. A lot of those people actually get recognized now and get hired by those bigger companies, you know, like, i.e.
oh my god, yeah,
the new Fresh Prince of Bel Air series, Bethesda, they hire modders all the time and stuff like that because they're like, oh, you know how to code our games? Here, come work for us. You know what I mean?
Dude. Yeah, I mean, like, it goes
I
to
just
show,
love that shit.
It goes to show, like, you don't have to go to college to be successful. You just have to like do something. You know what I mean? Just pick what the fuck you want to do.
In the words,
just
dog. Like,
do something.
just do it, my guy. Like,
in the words of Shia LaBeouf,
yep.
just do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do
Get off your butt. Do it. God, that legendary ass video, dude. Legendary fucking video. You know what Shia LaBeouf probably likes, guys?
Oh yeah, I know what he probably likes.
You know what he probably likes, moving right into the Helm. That's what he likes. Let's go. Optimus. I miss Shia's Optimus, because once we got like Mark Wahlberg's Optimus, it started like getting real weird, where it's like Shia LaBeouf was like, Optimus, help me. You know, like it was that kind of, but like Mark Wahlberg's just like, Optimus, I found a transformer. And it's just him
Optimus,
like,
I used to be a cop in Boston. I'm divorced.
Optimus, you gotta let me fly on this one. And it's just him like,
I'm
just
a peacock.
I hate us so much, dude. I fucking hate us so much. I also really hate this news because first up, we're talking LAPD officers fired for chasing Snorlax in Pokemon Go instead of robbers. This comes from Adam Bankhurst at IGN. It reads like this: Oh, God, Devin. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm here.
He's here. He's good.
We're
Two
good.
Los Angeles police officers were fired after they chose to chase a Snorlax in Pokemon Go instead of helping stop a robbery in progress at a local mall. Oh, Jesus Christ, Devin.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. As reported by Vice and detailed in court documents, former LAPD officers Louis Lozano and Eric Mitchell were on foot beat patrol on April 15, 2017, when a robbery at the Macy's at Crenshaw Mall was taking place. Calls began going out to police in the vicinity to respond, and some, like a unit that was at a homicide crime scene, rushed over to the mall. Lozano and Mitchell, on the other hand, ignored the call at first and then responded with a simple no. They said psych. When asked again, as it turns out, they, quote, willfully failed to respond to the robbery call and attempted to conceal the fact, end quote, by saying they were somewhere other than where they actually were. After listening to the recording in Lozano and Mitchell's police car, the LAPD also discovered they were playing Pokemon Go on the day of the robbery. Quote, the recording showed that at approximately 6:09 p.m., just 5 minutes after Officer Lozano said screw it to checking in with communications about the robbery call, Officer Mitchell alerted Lozano that Snorlax just popped up at 46th and Lamert. The court documents read, after noting that, Limert doesn't go all the way down to 46th, Lozano responded, oh, you know what I can do. I'll go down 11th and swing up on Crenshaw. I know that way I can get to it. Mitchell suggested a different route, then told Lozano, we got 4 minutes. Fucking great. Quote, for approximately the next 20 minutes, the DICVS captured petitioners discussing Pokemon as they drove to different locations where the virtual creatures apparently appeared on their mobile phones. On their way to the Snorlax location, Officer Mitchell alerted Officer Lozano that a Togetic just popped up, noting he was on Crenshaw just south of 50th. After Mitchell apparently caught the Snorlax, exclaiming, got him! Petitioners agreed to go get the Togetic and drove off. After successfully catching the Togetic after Lozano, quote, buried it and ultra balled it, it decided to return to a 7-Eleven to end their watch. Sorry, they decided to return. They would lie about playing the game and even said they were, quote, merely having a conversation about Pokemon Go, end quote, and that they were, quote unquote, capturing an image of the Pokemon on a tracking app. They were charged with multiple counts of on-duty misconduct and fired, and would later try to appeal their case by saying they weren't aware their conversations were being recorded and that their words should be considered quote-unquote private. On January 7th, 2022, the court denied the appeal. While this event may have taken place in 2017, 2022 will soon see the release of Pokemon Legends Arceus, a new game in the beloved franchise that may offer yet another chance for someone to get in trouble for playing it when they really shouldn't.
Arceus, but oh my god.
Yeah,
So,
sorry.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
It's extremely funny how they are quick to discipline police officers over this, when instead they could be disciplining officers who outrightly murder people.
I was literally going to say the same thing. Yeah.
This just makes me angry. That's all it is. And it's not even at the fact that it's Pokemon. It makes me angry that they took the time to take this to court and get them in trouble for playing a fucking game during their job when that could be handled out of fucking court. You know what I mean?
DJ in the chat says, would you rather have a gym badgeless cop help or a renowned trainer come to the rescue?
But like the fact that we have people who can just gun down people in the streets or who go to a fucking hotel and shoot people while they're whimpering down the hallway and they get off fucking scot-free.
They get fucking paid leave. They get a paid 6-month vacation.
All this does is fucking piss me off.
Yeah.
There's cops out there who literally have shot children over toy guns.
Yep.
Who are walking scot-free.
Yep.
There are people out there who take advantage of this job. There are people who don't, but there are lots of people that do. And it pisses me off that they choose to reprimand somebody over something like this instead of do something that's actually important.
Now, granted, too, I want to make sure that we add on, we know, like, these two dickheads still deserve to get fired, obviously. But it's just disappointing that these dudes got fired and not the countless numbers of other fucking cops that have done a million times worse fucking things than chasing a fucking Snorlax down the streets of fucking LA.
There was a young girl that was just killed from cop fired like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%, 100%.
It's fucking ridiculous, and to my knowledge, that cop isn't even in trouble for it. Fact check me. I could be wrong. We have a whole tab about that, but it's. I don't know what else to say without just getting really mad.
No, for sure. Forward. I get it. That's why I added it on here, because it's an important conversation to have outside of just the ridiculousness that is of the story. Surreal in the chat says, "Hey host, what's up, Surreal? We love you.
What's up? Long time no see."
It's just like you're 100% right. I'm glad you caught on to that, because that's exactly where I wanted to take this. This
story particularly is funny. But in the whole grand scheme of things, like with everything else going on, it pisses me off.
Yeah, yeah. Garrick, are you on the same wavelength, or do you have any more to say on top of it? Or?
Yeah, I mean that, dude. And when I first saw I thought it was clickbait. I thought it was like fake as fuck. I was just like, this can't be.
Is this the Onion?
I was just like, yeah, that is exactly.
It's an Onion ass article, right? Like,
I was just like, this cannot be like some shit they're actually choosing to report on. Like, what the fuck even is this?
Yeah. It
was just a waste of an article space. So it was just like what were we like? Are you? I just didn't understand what the point of it was. It's just like, why highlight like this of all things?
Yeah. And let's us bring it on to here, really, just so that we can talk about it in this light, because I don't think most people are going to look at this like, oh, goofy story about two fucking stupid cops, right? But it's like, realistically, more people should be upset about this, because it's like, these two dudes got actually fired for playing a fucking mobile game on their phone. And then there's cops that actually shoot disabled kids in the fucking street and never get a punishment for it at all. And but they tried to play this shit off as like oddly controversial for some stupid reason. Right. Surreal, I was playing Apex Ranked, dude. You're gonna make me cry. I hate cops. Oh, listen, we're on Twitch. So we're not gonna dive crazy deep on this, but retweet.
This just feels like a scapegoat sort of article. Like, it's just like, we're going to give you this, so like we're not talking about other stuff related to law enforcement.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's kind of funny, the article itself, but in the grand scheme of things, it pisses me off, because there's a lot of other really bad shit happening, and it feels like this is just kind of like, hey, pay attention to this. This is a goofy police officer story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just so fucking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay calm.
Surreal. We love you. Okay, just I don't want to quote that, just so we don't get banned or anything. But we love you. All right, you're loved here. We care about you. We care about your family. All right.
As someone who has been shot at by rubber bullets and tear gas before, I do not like the way that things are being conducted.
I'll tell you that. We also don't like this next story, Devin.
Actually, I kind of do, because I looked into it and did some research, and I kind of do.
You motherfucker. Yeah, all right. Tell the people about it.
Michael Bay, Gareth Evans, and Patrick Hughes remaking The Raid for Netflix. And this is coming from Joseph Knoop over at IGN. Director Michael Bay is joining forces with Patrick Hughes and Gareth Evans in the return of a Hollywood hit. According to Deadline, it was reported that the three critically acclaimed directors on the reimagining of the Indonesian action thriller The Raid for Netflix. The 2012 film was created, written, and directed by Evans and premiered at the 2012 Toronto Film Festival, where it quickly garnered praise for its action sequences and cinematography. The success of the film led to its 2014 sequel, The Raid 2. The raid takes place in Indonesia and follows an elite squad infiltrating a ruthless mobster's den. The film quickly builds suspense as the team traverses the levels of a high-rise building facing off against the drug lord's deadly underlings. The film stars Ikoa
Iko Uwai.
Iko Uwai. Okay, I almost said Uwe.
Away.
Yeah, Uwe.
Uwe,
As lead
yeah.
character Rama, a rookie member of the unit. The cast also includes Joe Taslim, Ray Saratapi, Yuen Ryuen. Did I say that? Ruyan?
Yeah, Yayan Ruyan.
Yayan Ruyan. Sunny Alasha.
Alamzia.
Alamzia.
And then Yang
In
Dharmawan.
All right.
Let
me get to it first. So
there you go. Okay.
You gotta let me try.
I'll let
okay?
you take your shots. There you go.
I'm a peacock. Okay. You gotta let me fly.
Optimus, I found a transformer.
Tigar Satira, Ika Ramadia, and Aldridis Godfried.
There you go. Good job.
See, you gotta let me fly.
Okay, cool.
Evans won't be taking on writing or directing duties this time around. The reimagining will see Evans as executive producer with Hughes and Bay tapped as directors. Hughes will also co-write the script alongside James Beaufort. Range Media Partners and XYZ Films are both set to produce. Quote, "We're incredibly excited about Patrick's unique vision for this film," end quote, spoke the producers in their statement to Deadline. Quote, "It's a distinctly original take on the material, which promises to pay great respect to the original film while also bringing a fresh approach and perspective that will set its own course in the action genre," end quote. The reboot of the film will take place in Philadelphia, where the elite DEA task force will take on a mysterious cartel kingpin, as they fight their way through his tower of informants. Since Sony's acquisition of the North American rights to The Raid in 2011, the film's American remake has undergone many iterations in its attempt to market off initial success and subsequent cult fan base. Stars such as Chris Hemsworth, Frank Grillo, and Liam Hemsworth were rumored to be attached in earlier attempts, but ultimately amounted to nothing. With three of the biggest action movie directors attached to this current attempt, fans are eager to see how the trio will reimagine the film for American audiences. So, the reason why I say that I'm not mad about this is Gareth Evans wrote the original Raid movies. All of them. He was a writer on all of them.
Yes, very much so.
And he also did VHS, which was incredibly violent.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now Patrick Hughes has done the Hitman's Bodyguard movies as well as the Expendables. So,
right.
And I just watched the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard or whatever. I just watched that the other day. It was pretty good.
They are good movies. They are a couple of good movies. Yeah.
The only person I would be somewhat concerned about is just Michael Bay. I hope he has the lesser part of production, but I'm not too worried just because I have faith behind Patrick and Gareth, honestly.
Sure.
And again, this is Netflix. It's kind of a 50-50. It's going to go one of two ways, right? It's either going to be good or it's going to be bad. But I'm going to put this, hopefully, I'm going to say this is going to be in the good category. And I know that it's whitewashing, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as long as it's rewritten and they don't, as long as it's not a bunch of white guys going out in an Asian city, with Asian bad guys, I'm more okay with it in the sense.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because
That's
it's not vilifying AAPI, you know?
Right.
Which that's my biggest concern with a lot of movies in this sense that do get remade is because they still try to base it in the city that it's in. And then they get big action star Chris Hemsworth, to come in. Oh,
you mean like villainizing Asians in movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm already stoked that this is actually it is going to be hardly American adaptation in that sense. And it's not like they're taking on an anime, right? It's a cop story. It's a cop story.
Right. Right.
which can be a lot of different situations. I mean, they don't even have to say it's reboot. It could just be another Raid movie that's just based in the US. You know what I mean? Subsequent stories, because they all have different characters. Anyways,
watch them make this this cartel group like the Triads or something. they're gonna find some way.
I 100% guarantee you. So it's Philly. It's gonna be like mobster stuff.
I'm sure. Yeah. There's
it's gonna be like Russians or something like that.
Right. Garrick, where are you on this?
Look. Good movies don't have language barriers. Watch the original shit. We don't need to keep rebooting stuff just so it can have an American version. Yeah. Dude, I'm so over it as a whole. Like, go watch Ambulance if you want like a shitty generic Michael Bay action film.
Wait, okay, but that
1 second.
Good, that sounds good. What's up, Devin?
No, Ambulance looks terrible.
I'm no dog. I'm so here for it, man.
No, it looks so bad. I don't know if you heard what I said. The way that those Raid movies are, it's essentially Judge Dredd.
Yeah, but I think what Garrick's more so getting at is just like they keep doing this whether or not it's a reimagining or not. Like it's still just a little egregious. Like it goes to show like how Americans perceive foreign movies, and like the only reason that there's a market for this kind of this level of like remakes is because too many people have an issue with that language barrier, and it keeps them from wanting to experience the original movie the way that it was meant to be experienced. And so they remake it because there's, that fucking family in Texas is like, I don't like me no Indonesian films. And they just like, and so now they want to go see the story of the Raid just as long as there's a fucking white guy in it and not some Indonesian dude speaking Indonesian and the ease of access. So it's like, man, it just, DJ in the chat, anyone who is not America is a Squid Game person.
I haven't heard that one yet, and it makes a lot of sense though. But I haven't heard that one yet. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, but it just feels like it undermines the original content to me.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Like it's just, and I don't know, it just bugs me. Like it just like that there are just so many individuals out there who are just so like narrow-minded. Like Ernell and I are deaf as shit, and we're willing to go watch movies in another language and try to fill that shit in while we're reading subtitles in English, and like still rather enjoy it the way like it was meant to be seen and written than like be like, well, if I don't want to see it unless it's in American, and like which is just stupid. There's so many other English films for you people to watch.
Like I said, the only thing that gives me any like incentive to like really care about this is the fact that there is an original writer on board with this.
Oh, sure. Sure.
And,
true, but
and with the way that all the other Raid movies have gone, especially with it almost being like a Final Fantasy with all different characters,
Oh, well, the Raid 1 and 2 are not. Like Raid 1 and 2 are the same.
But there is another Raid movie.
There's
too.
like the B movies. Yeah.
But there's like quite a bit of them. And at the core, when I think of Raid as action sequences, not story. Because if you want to talk about story, the story is literally Judge Dredd. That's what the story is in the first place. But it's more of an action spectacle of anything, which having the director from Expendables on board for that makes me a little, my thing is I don't think of this as a reimagining or as a reboot. I just think of this as another step in Raid, but just in a different place. You know what I mean? Because they do have all those other movies and I guess I'm just being really optimistic about it in that sense.
Yeah, that's fair. And that's fair,
But again, the only thing that makes me question it is Michael Bay. Yeah. But that just means there's going to be some big ass explosions in this movie, right?
Now, granted, in your defense, this is a special scenario, right? Because it is the writer of the original Raid movies. So it's like there is, the question of like, is this even technically a reimagining? Is it technically a reboot? Or is it just like a separate sequel? Because it's, you know, the
Think
same
about it
like
this
people
way.
that have had their hands in it. Me and Garrick, I guess, are more so just saying like we just wish they were doing this for different reasons on a grander scale of things. You know?
I'm thinking of it like God of War, right? God of War was technically a reimagining spiritual reboot, but it was a totally different story, right?
Yes and no, but I get where you're coming from. Yeah,
Like,
it
yeah,
was
I
just
get what you're
called God of
saying.
War.
Mhm,
That
mhm.
my hope is that's what this movie ends up being. You know,
yeah.
but
I mean,
every raid movie is climbing up a tower and killing a bunch of people,
yeah,
and some of your teammates dying,
and it's hype
and there
as
being
fuck. It's
crazy
all
action
hype as fuck. Let's
sequences,
fucking
and
go.
then
It's so
the
good.
top of the building blows up, and they kill the big bad guy when they almost escape, and then they go down a zip line or they get picked up by a helicopter, or they just jump off the roof or something.
Dog,
There, I just gave you the whole plot line.
The beauty of Raid though is that choreography, because like that
Exactly.
kitchen knife fight scene in Raid 2, holy shit, the
And
choreography in that was so good. Oh my god.
look. You want to know who I want to see in this, because I know they're just going to play the same fucking thing they always play, but it would work so well for this.
Paul Giamatti.
Give me
Ben Stiller.
I am Alexa.
like fat Paul Giamatti.
In Rhino boxers, yeah, exactly.
No, but I want to see Jason Statham in this. Is that weird?
I need a
For
Jason
Philly?
Statham revival, right? Like
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
outside of
Yeah.
like Hobbs and Shaw, I need
Yeah.
I need a Jason Statham
What was
revival. For
that
sure.
last movie that you and I watched that was really good when he impersonated a security guard?
Was it like Dawn of Man or something like that?
Dude, so good.
So fucking good. We need more Jason Statham, my dude.
If that performance isn't an indication that he should be in a raid movie, then I don't know what is, because
Yeah.
he's like the transporter, right? But in that movie, he's way more badass, like
and the thing,
way more brutal.
the thing
if
is
that makes any
too
sense.
is like the raid is basically just the transporter, but in a building. So it's like it's really not that different. You know what I mean?
DJ, I'm the same height as Jason Statham.
You don't know me. You don't know me. Garrick, take our third and last story for the Helm, baby boy.
Happily. Take-Two Interactive to acquire social game developer Zynga in $12.7 billion deal. This is coming from Emma Roth at The Verge. Take-Two Interactive, the video game publisher that owns Rockstar and 2K Games, is set to acquire social game developer Zynga in a deal valued at $2.7 billion via the Wall Street Journal. The cash and stock transaction is expected to close in the first quarter of 2023, pending regulatory approval. Take-Two Interactive's acquisition of Zynga marks the company's foray into the mobile gaming market. Take-Two is behind some of the most well-known game series, including Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, BioShock, Borderlands, and NBA 2K. Meanwhile, Zynga has a pretty impressive portfolio of its own, defining a genre by planting some of its earliest games like Farmville on Facebook. The mobile game developer also created the ultra-popular Words with Friends, which eventually made its way to Messenger. The company is also set to roll out an Among Us-like game on Snapchat called Revamp. Combining Zynga's expertise on mobile and next-generation platforms with Take-Two's best-in-class capabilities and intellectual properties will enable us to further advance our mission to connect the world through games, said Frank Jabeo, the CEO of Zynga. Take-Two's $12.7 billion acquisition of one of the biggest video game is one of the biggest in video game history by a pretty big margin, ahead of the Microsoft 7.8 or 7.5 billion purchase of Bethesda, which was finalized last March, and Tencent's 8.57 billion acquisition of a majority stake in Supercell.
God damn, that's a lot of money.
I think it's funny
that
they're buying Zynga for almost twice as much as Microsoft bought Bethesda and Cinemax. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
Look,
yeah.
here's the thing though. If you look at this just from like the outside looking in standpoint, this is a super Take-Two move, because Take-Two is just most notably, like Take-Two's like probably their biggest studio is probably Rockstar at the moment, I would argue.
Right.
And Rockstar is incredibly money hungry. So them acquiring something like a mobile gaming like Tycoon, like Zynga, which is literally just riddled with microtransactions and ads, like this is purely financial for them. They don't give a crap about games.
You guys want to know my prediction on this? I think this acquisition was to prepare for a metaverse.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, especially like I have a big problem with Take-Two right now, especially for trying
and 2K. Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
Retweet.
Yeah. It's especially with them trying to cite It Takes Two for the name and trying to
gross, dog.
You know,
man.
and like that game's been out for almost a year, and then they file when it gets considered for Game of the Year. Like, fuck you, Take-Two.
On, bro.
Fuck you scummy motherfuckers.
To me, sounds sus.
Yeah.
It's gross, dude.
It's just fucked up, and like that's the unfortunate thing is companies are gonna do fucked up corporate shit because in the grand scheme of things, all these companies are corporate companies. So.
That's for damn sure, isn't it? That's for damn sure. I know it's fucking unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but we're not unfortunate because we're gonna head on into hands on deck. But before we do, my friends, have a listen to our sponsors. This episode of the Good Kraken podcast is brought to you by Glide Mousepads. PC gaming and office work is more popular than ever before, making your workflow and efficiency an absolute necessity. You need your peripherals and accessories to be running silky smooth in order for you to keep clicking heads. And now, we've got just the thing to keep that KD at an all-time high. Glide Mousepads is the future industry leader in mousepads, offering beautiful, smooth, waterproof products made with eco-friendly materials and non-slip rubber in a variety of sizes that are guaranteed to give you the edge you're needing in the heat of digital warfare. I'll tell you what, why even bother with a piece of junk like this when you could get your mouse the battle rug it's only ever dreamed of? Right now, you can follow Glide Mousepads over on Twitter at Glide Mousepads. Again, that's at Glide Mousepads for updates on when their store officially opens. And stay tuned on Good Kraken for a special offer we'll have for you when that happens. Again, that's at Glide Mousepads over on Twitter. Glide Mousepads, you will succeed. And we are back. Oh god, that feels good. That feels fucking good, doesn't it?
It's nice having a little break.
For it. Thank you, Griff. We appreciate you. 10 out of 10 ad. Thank you, Griff. And DJ, the only person to do that ad better than Ernell is me. That's true. That is true, DJ. You're right. You are 100% right, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving into Hands on Deck. Hands on Deck, everybody, is our segment where we talk a little bit about some games or movies or shows that we have gotten our hands on since the last episode that we were on, and we try to pitch them to each other. And TJ, hands on dick, yep,
hands on dick.
We try to pitch them to each other. We try to pitch them to you guys at home. Devin, let's do one each, guys. One each. I feel like one each has been a pretty good time frame for us, so let's stick to that. Devin, what have you been playing or watching this week, my guy?
So, since I've been, quarantined and home ridden, I started Cobra Kai finally.
Let's fucking, you just made me the happiest man on earth, Devin. Let's go, dude. Where are you with it?
I am in the first season still.
Okay.
But I'm on like episode 7 or 8.
Let's go.
Bro, it gets so hype. I'm like, so like, so all right. I grew up with Karate Kid. Karate Kid.
Yep.
I'm extremely impressed. They got so many of the original actors from the movies to come back.
Right.
Extremely impressed with that. Now, I love how they portray the main character. I forgot his name already.
Johnny.
Johnny. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were talking about Johnny or Miguel.
I love how they portray Johnny as just a piece of shit, deadbeat dad alcoholic, because he is so good at playing that. Like
deadbeat alcoholic.
Yeah, dude, and it is so like it's not glorifying. It's constantly everybody's telling him, "Hey, you're a piece of shit," and he's like, "Yeah, I know, but fuck you." That's like his whole attitude, right?
Yeah.
And And he does a great job. But Miguel is the fucking heart of the show.
God, this kid can fucking act, dude. He can fucking
he
act,
is a
man.
fucking sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment when you see him actually show that he has been taught karate,
yeah,
and no self. When you see that cafeteria scene, you're just like,
dog. Listen, you and I talk about this all the fucking time. Okay, my desire for hype in any piece of content I ever consume is just at an fucking maximum. If it is hype as shit, if it is extra hype, I will fucking watch it. And this fucking show, Cobra Kai, just has something hype going on in every single goddamn episode. And I love it. I fucking love it. Me and Aaron are watching the new season right now. And we're I think 4 episodes in. And goddamn, this show's fucking good, dude. This show's so fucking good.
I don't know why I ignored it for so long, because I've heard so many people, like whether it just be friends, family, other podcasters or whatever, talk about how good this show is.
Yeah.
Like for years now, I've heard this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually amazing.
Yeah.
And if you in any way liked Karate Kid at all,
at all,
you will love this.
Mm-hmm.
You will love this. Like, even if you just enjoyed Karate Kid but weren't too hype on it, you're like, yeah, I watched that when I was a kid. It was cool. You're gonna love this show,
dude. This show's better than Karate Kid. If I'll be completely frank, this show's better than Karate Kid, and it utilizes Karate Kid in like all the good ways where like it odes back to Karate Kid in all the ways you want it to. Its energy is Karate Kid. You know what I mean? Like the absurdity of it is the perfect type of campy corny. Oh my god, I love the show so much.
It's so good, and the comedy, it's subtle, but it's fucking spot on. It is so good. So good. But like, I love the callbacks to like the previous movies, how they use a lot of footage from previous movies and stuff like that. I love that aspect. You really see a lot of connection between with the death of Miyagi. Like it actually is throughout the show, which is really nice, and I can't wait to watch more of it. And I've done so good not getting any spoilers for this show at all. I don't know why. Please don't spoil anything for me, people, but
absolutely not.
Like, I don't know how, but I'm really good at avoiding spoilers for some reason. And there's so many things I want to happen. Like, I want to see LaRusso and Johnny just finally go, hey, let's team up. Let's do this together. Let's bring karate back to the valley. That's all I want to see.
Well, hey,
don't tell me anything.
I'll tell you this. This show gets fucking wild, my guy. Like, just this show gets fucking bonkers. And I am so excited for you to watch more, man. I'm so sad. Everybody at home, if you have not watched Cobra Kai, please do yourself a favor and watch fucking Cobra Kai.
4 seasons now.
4 seasons. All so good. They're all so good. Grip in the chat says Karate Kid is the only reason I know how to use chopsticks. I tried for years to catch a fly with chopsticks.
Yeah.
And DJ says now I need to watch this. There you go. We sold DJ.
Yep.
Let's go.
I think this started out as like a web series on YouTube.
It sure did. And that's honestly awesome. Like shocking, because the production of even the first season, stellar.
With that being said, another case of creators doing something for a web series and it getting picked up and taken to the right place.
Oh, dude, I know. God, man. And this was one of the Netflix bops, right? Like how we've been talking recently about how like Netflix is very 50-50. This is one of the bops. The production is phenomenal. The writing is so fucking clever. Even though the show is corny in all the same ways that Karate Kid is corny, it's self-aware of the corniness enough that like it feels like they're kind of making fun of themselves and making fun of the original movies, and like because they do it all the time, right? They do it all the fucking time with like any of the like the main villains, the main like characters, and how like they're supposed to reflect like characters from the original movies, and just like, dude, they do such a knock-up job.
My favorite thing about it is how like Johnny is teaching Miguel karate, and it shows that he's doing a good job, even though that his methods are kind of like meh, because he is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But my favorite part about it is Miguel showing him he's a piece of shit and like wholeheartedly like being like, no, I know there's a good guy under there. I want to help you out.
Yeah.
You know, and I love seeing that connection, you know, because he is grade A, typical white guy, drives like a crappy old classic car. Like all he listens to is hair metal and drinks fucking Coors Light. All right.
Yep.
Like he's typical
he's
piece of
that
shit
guy.
white guy.
He's that guy.
And he says not choice things, and they call him out for it in the show all the fucking time.
And they found the perfect way to make all of us give a fuck about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for whatever fucking reason, we give a shit about this guy's redemption arc. Like, it's, God, watch this fucking show.
He has things happen to him in a sense that makes you go, oh, shit. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, damn it, Johnny. Damn it, Johnny.
Yeah.
I know. God damn
But yeah,
it.
go watch Cobra Kai. There's 4 seasons. I just started it. I'm at the tail end of the first season so far. Ernell's already in season 4.
It only gets better, baby. It only gets
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Garrick.
Strike hard, strike fast, strike first.
Cobra Kai never dies. Let's go. Garrick, what have you been playing or watching this week, my guy?
A lot. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I have been like flip booking through games recently, but there has been one that kind of stood out, and I wasn't really expecting to gravitate towards this game. I literally just picked it up and tried it on a whim, and it is called Deep Rock Galactic.
Oh, dude, we have plans on playing this on Splash Damage eventually. That's actually a good sign. How is this game?
Dude, wow. So Deep Rock Galactic is it's a 4-person co-op first-person shooter where you play as dwarves that are mining a alien planet filled with these arachnid-like creatures called glyphids.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And basically the TLDR on the game loop is you get assigned various jobs, whether it's like doing research on the aliens, restoring broken mining equipment, extracting materials and actually going to mine it and like taking it out. And then you drop into the mine, you go do these things, and then you like loot all this stuff, and then you're fighting all these aliens the entire time. And it's got like this low poly art style where it looks like it was kind of like around like the Xbox like 360 like era.
Sure.
And it runs super smooth, very stylized. Dude, the co-op just feels so good. The gunplay is awesome, and just the fact that like you go into these caves, they're dark as shit. You guys are like working together to find these materials, tossing flares into these deep dark tunnels, and like as you're mining up your materials, you guys are like having to watch each other's backs as like these aliens are trying to like murder the shit out of you guys. And then there's 4 different classes of dwarves that all have unique like abilities that they bring into their mines with them, and you guys use them to help each other gather resources and traverse like dangerous areas of the mines.
Okay,
dude, it's the gameplay. It's super smooth, very cooperative, super fun. I ended up diving into it, and the gameplay loop is just so simple and beautiful. It's like playing Left 4 Dead with like Minecraft. Aspect mixed in.
Garrick, I want to let you know I just queued it for download.
Hey,
dude,
let's go.
It's so good. It is one I had heard like rumblings about this game when it got released. I actually believe it got released in 2019, and then it's slowly gotten rolled out onto other consoles. Well, it just happens to be on Game Pass, which is where I picked it up, and just wow. The music, super good. Gunplay, super good. Alien creature design, amazing. Using your toolkit to like the fullest extent to help your fellow dwarves, like just basically traverse these deep, dark caves. And the caves are procedurally generated. The objectives are placed procedurally. They're never in the same place twice. Like I did this mission the other day, guys, where I was going in to repair broken mining equipment. And while we were repairing the equipment, you actually had to like dig a tunnel so that you could lay the pipeline so that it wasn't obstructed by like the workings of the cave.
That's cool.
And like as you're doing that, you're like fighting off aliens and like making sure they're not breaking your equipment while you're like getting everything back up and running.
Garrick, I just want to let you know that whole time that you were talking about Deep Rock Galactic, it downloaded already.
Oh, dude,
Jesus
super quick.
Christ.
It's not a very big game,
It's
but it's got like
gigabytes.
this crazy gunplay loop, dude.
Yeah.
And all of the classes, like all of their ability kits feel really good, and it encourages you to try out the different ones so that you understand what like your teammates are going to be doing for you in the cave and what you can do for them to make the mission successful. Because, dude, there are moments where like you are literally just there's just these glyphid arachnid creatures on all sides. You're like I've got there's a gunner character. You're just blasting your minigun, just blowing aliens away. All of your flares are on cooldown. It's starting to get dark. You don't know where all the enemies are coming from. You've got to get this shit harvested, and you have no idea where your little mule is to deposit your resources. And you're just like panicking. You're just like, oh my god, all my dwarves are dying around me. And like, there's one emote in this game. There's one emote, and it sums up the game perfectly.
Okay.
And it's fucking rock and stone, brother. Rock and stone. That's literally the emote. Rock and stone. That's it.
That's tight. I'm here for that.
Rock and stone.
I put a poll in chat for everyone to vote. This Friday we are playing what the fuck was it called?
Prop Night?
Prop Night. We're playing Prop Night this Friday, but next Friday you guys can vote to see if you guys want us to play this game next Friday night for Splash Damage. We would 100% be down if you guys are down. So let's see that. Yeah, it sounds like you got us sold, my guy, because I'm here for
my
it.
Lanta, like so good. Yep, it was. Yep, absolutely recommend. I'm gonna be playing it again probably this evening.
Perfect. Griff also asked in chat, the environment is 100% destructible as well, right?
Yep, everything is destructible, and like you can destroy things with your bullets just as much as you can, like your pickaxe and stuff.
Okay.
And so like you'll like one character's got like a zip line that you can use to like place across like chasms to make things more accessible. The scout's got like special flares and a grappling hook. The engineer can like place down turrets and has like this gooey platform gun. And then there's the driller who can make like really square, clean like tunnels. And they all have like roles that they fill during like the missions. Dude, it's just so much fun. I like fell in love with it instantly, and I was just the tutorial was fun.
Yeah,
that never happens.
Okay. I'm fucking here for it, dude. You got me sold, man. I'm definitely here for it. Okay, yeah. I watched a very special movie called Pig. I finally did it. And this movie is absurdly good for absolutely no fucking reason at all. This movie is really good. This movie is insanely good. I don't like. Honestly, this might be like one of Nicolas Cage's like best movies he's ever done. Like one of the best roles he's ever played, because he acts the shit out of this character in this movie, and the movie is just, oh my god! Like I'm appalled that it took me this long to watch it. So for people that don't know, Pig is a movie starring Nicolas Cage and Alex Wolff, the gentleman from the hit horror movie, what the fuck, Hereditary. He's the boy from Hereditary, and Nicolas Cage plays as a truffle farmer who lives out in the middle of the Oregon woods by himself with his truffle pig, and they hunt truffles, and he hunts truffles so that he can trade the truffles to Alex Wolff's character, who owns a small like restaurant chain in Portland. This entire movie is based in Oregon. It's wild. It's sick, dude. Like being like living here, like seeing all these things, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. And he gives the truffles to Alex Wolff's characters in exchange for food, so that Nicolas Cage's character can continue to live in the woods on his own. But one night, two people break into his cabin in the woods, beat him in the head, and take his truffle pig. And the story then becomes this sort of weird, like, anti-John Wick story, where it's not like, this movie's not high action. It's not, but it's
like a drama.
Yeah, it's like a drama movie, but they kind of make it feel almost as hype as a John Wick movie. Like it's not high action, but it feel like the energy is kind of high action because you're like, fuck yeah, let's go, Nick Cage. Like he kind of spends the entire.
He's gonna get that fucking pig.
He's gonna get this fucking pig, movie. Dude. Like the whole time, and like it almost feels like he's like ready to fight someone the entire movie, and like at any moment's notice, it could have a fight scene in it. But they just don't go in that direction. It's him like
the tension for violence is like there in the film. Look, dude, I'm so glad you watched this. Nicolas Cage showed up on sets of this film and he was just like, cut when I say cut.
Yeah.
And then then he just acted the fuck out of that movie.
Yeah, dude. And like, listen, I get that like this sounds so like ridiculously fucking cornball as shit, but like this movie's really good. It's got this overarching theme of like handling loss, which is like one of my favorite themes in like any source of entertainment. But like,
same.
Yeah, like grief and loss are my two favorites for stories to touch on, and this movie handles it surprisingly well.
So it's worth it?
100% worth it. I took the shot and rented it on Amazon just to like take the shot on it, and honestly, like I would have paid $10 for this fucking movie because this movie was that good. It's that good. It's a little bit more. It's more art piecey than we're coming off as, but it's not art piecey enough to make it feel like an art piece. It still kind of just definitely feels like a thriller movie, like DJ and Chat
Yes.
says. Yeah.
If you have a Hulu subscription, it is available on Hulu.
There you go. I do not have Hulu, so I went right into. But honestly, like I'm happy with it. I'm happy with that purchase because this movie blew me out of the water. I was very happy for it. Spider-Man: No Way Home is still my movie of the year last year, and this movie probably wouldn't take the top 3 for me, but I almost like it more than Nobody, so I might like. This movie might take like my honorable mention spots, like one of them. Like this movie is pretty good, guys. Like you need to see this movie.
I can see that choice. I personally like Nobody a little more, but I can see why you would make that choice.
Right, like the two like they shouldn't be, but they're kind of interchangeable.
The energy of those two films is very compatible.
Very much so. Very much so. It's like if they replaced the action scenes of Nobody and replace them with drama pieces, that's this movie.
Yeah.
It's this movie.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that they didn't just take the John Wick copy route like Nobody did or Gunpowder Milkshake tried to do. You know, like I like that they strayed away from that and just gave us a genuine good like drama story where they're like, what if it was John Wick, but like he doesn't know a bunch of cool combat shit. And like he really is just determined. He's just determined, and he just so happened to be a really, really popular guy in fucking Portland. And like it just works. It just fucking works. Like it Devin, watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should check it out.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Now, the crazy thing is, it's like we all make fun of Nicolas Cage as an actor, but there are so many times where he proves that he is a good actor. You know what I mean? In a lot of these like offshoot movies.
Sure.
You know, just like ridiculous sounding concept until you actually watch it and you go, wow, Willy's Wonderland was great. He didn't say a single line in that movie. He just beat the shit out of a bunch of animatronic dolls. You know,
just to be clear, that movie was trash. Just to be clear.
I thought it was great because I thought it was just so funny.
Yeah, no, Griffin Chat says Nick Cage is an Oscar winner, and he is for a reason. Like he is a good actor. Like when he's
just so weird and eccentric.
Yeah, it's just when he's put onto a movie that like actually fits him well, then he kills it. You know what I mean? But when they put him into something like Ghost Rider,
Night at the Museum,
they just tell him to fucking yell for half an hour. Like
I'm kidding, that was Ben Stiller. I was trying to get
you
mad.
You motherfucker. Because I mean,
but National Treasure, man. He's a national treasure.
One of the best fucking movies in history ever. That movie's one of the best movies ever. Like
Face Off.
Oh, that's another good movie. I mean, John Travolta carried it more than Nick Cage did, but they were both still pretty fucking good in that movie, dude.
Honestly, I want a Face Off remake.
Remake or sequel?
Yeah, sequel.
Ooh,
I
they could
kind
do a
of almost
sequel.
want a sequel. You know, bring back John
Yeah.
Travolta and Nick Cage. Give us Old Man Face Off. You know what I'm saying?
Or
Old
do
Man
a
Face
remake,
Off.
but with the same actors.
Just give them another shot. Give them another shot.
John Travolta, we heard you've been really down on your luck lately. All your petitions.
It's true. It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. The Scientology did
But
not treat him well.
just bring the ponytail back. Just let everybody know that you're
Yeah.
Josh in the
that
chat
you're a
says.
sub.
Josh in the chat says, "Nah, the pinball scene though." I'm assuming he's talking about Wally's Wonderworld. Is that what the fuck it's called? God damn it.
Yeah. He's just he had breaks scheduled on his watch, and he would just go drink a soda and play.
I fucking hate it. I hate it.
Oh my god.
Griffin chat. The community did the best reflection on Nick Cage. That's true. That's true. The poll in chat is over. They have agreed on sheesh for us to play Deep Rock Galactic next Friday. So it's like that's what we're going to be doing. Let's refer to
Hell
Raven
yeah.
and let Raven know, and we should be good to go. We should be good to go, everybody. Just like you guys are good to go. For us to move to what, Devin?
The Gallows.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Ladies, gentlemen, thents, and ladies. We are talking tonight. What is the greatest video game of all time? We want to hear from you guys in chat. And we know you guys are going to troll a little bit. You guys are going to troll a little bit. And that's fine. That's fine. But we do want your actual answers too. Okay, we do want your actual answers too. We're doing one each. And I want each one of us to explain why that game is the greatest game of all time from our perspective. Okay? Let's try to pitch it to each other. Let's try to convince the people at home. DJ says Tekken 3. Griff says, okay, what are the rules? Is it one single game or franchise? It is one single game. One single game, gentlemen. Josh says GKS Simulator. Get the fuck out. Josh, get out of here. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Don't tell everybody. No, I'm kidding. There isn't anything like that.
Now, obviously, we're going to be grading greatest video game of all time on the large, just consensus, generally speaking. Best story, best gameplay. Great Shadow Legends. Fuck off, Josh. Best gameplay, best mechanics, best art, best soundtrack. All the things together that have compiled to make what you believe is the greatest video game of all time. Devin, the 5-star man. What is your 5-star game in history?
So, this is really hard. This is really hard. So I've been thinking about this for the past few days, and I have not been able to generate one definite winner. But I have come down to 2 games. I can't make a choice between the 2.
Okay, well you're gonna have to, baby. You're gonna have to.
I know, but I'm gonna let you guys know my 2 choices, and you're gonna understand why this is so hard, especially for me, as a gamer, because you guys already know that these are 2 of my favorite franchises in the world.
Yes, of course. Okay.
I'm having a hard time.
Call of Duty,
Final Fantasy X. Jesus Christ. As much of an FPS player I am, I still don't even play those games.
I know you don't. That's why I said them.
Actually, I really liked Modern Warfare, like the last iteration of Modern Warfare.
That campaign was so good. Like, oh my god,
that is the epitome of Call of Duty. Like the multiplayer, everything. It's that was a perfect FPS game. As much as people shit on Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, the reboot. Amazing game.
Yeah, very good.
But not the best game of all time.
Sure not.
Anyways,
Final Fantasy X, and
I'm going to give points for this as I discuss these real quick, because as a JRPG, this was the first fully voiced JRPG. This game is 20 years old, and it's still being played constantly to this day. It's on Game Pass. It's on Switch. It's on PC. It's everywhere. You can literally play it everywhere. That shit's like Skyrim now. You know, you can probably get it on your phone if you get an emulator or some shit.
Sure.
You know, and it's the battle system in that game is so accessible for anybody who is learning how to play a oh my god, what a word I'm looking for right now. Just that battle style of game. I'm having a hard time right now.
Turn-based.
Turn-based. There you go. Hey, brain fart 2022.
Thank you,
Let's
Garrick.
go.
Thank you, Garrick. We love you.
Yeah, as a turn-based game, it's extremely accessible because of the way that it shows who's all going next and how you can alter it depending on the types of moves and abilities and stuff you use. The story is fantastic. It's relatively easy gameplay wise until you get to like the really end game shit. And it has a very compelling story. But as I talk about this, I think I'm gonna have to give my greatest game of all time to The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, because you can play that game however you want, literally however you want.
Okay.
The art style with that slight cell shading and everything is timeless. I mean, think of Wind Waker, that holds up and lives on to this day, no problem. You know, the way that you can traverse the map is fantastic too. You can literally do anything in any sorts of ways. The multitude of enemies and combat that you can have, the crafting that you can do in that game, the food cooking, it's and the story is ultimately a good story, but you also have to bring that story together yourself. You know what I mean? And it's kind of your own reflection on how you feel about it, because it's you discovering what's happened in the past, leading forward to, to let it define your future in a sense. So yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that. I'll take that. Those are good choices. I think Breath of the Wild is definitely up there. Like that game is just beloved.
Well,
right?
Think up. Everybody compares it to it now. It's like everybody used to compare games to Skyrim, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's a Skyrim like it's this. Now everybody.
Thank you for not saying Skyrim.
I mean, that is pretty up there.
Get
though.
the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out! You shut your dirty mouth.
Ernell, there's a reason why people still buy that game today.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, people still buy fucking Pokemon games. That's the same fucking game. What, 8 generations?
What's that?
Same what fucking game for 8 generations. Like people replay bullshit all the fucking time. You know what I mean? That's my point. That's my point.
Well, I mean, in a sense, but like besides the main quest line, especially with all the expansions they've come out with in Skyrim, you can pretty much play that game however you want as well, and you don't even have to do the main quest to be fulfilled from that game.
Sure.
Sure. It's not always the same. That's the beauty
kill
of
dragons
those kinds of games.
One hit. Just kill dragons with one hit. That's fun. That's fun.
Yeah, if you're playing on fucking easy mode, like a fucking square, what are you?
Listen,
nerd,
and game Skyrim, you're just dishing out heat on fucking dragons left and right. All right?
Yeah,
I don't fucking like that.
Yeah, when you put in 300 hours. The dragons actually scale with you, Ernell.
Oh, that's fucking garbage. DJ Simpix
fucking garbage.
says Tekken 3 is a gateway fighter into the PlayStation era and one of the first on that platform to sell over 1 million copies, second to Final Fantasy VII. It ran at 60 FPS, and there's so much content that we've never had in fighting games before. Tekken 3 is a legendary ass fighting game. Like, that was a fucking good game back in the day, y'all. Very, very good game. And after Tekken 3 happened, every other fighting game was trying to do what Tekken 3 was doing. Even Mortal Kombat, they had a couple games that were feeling closer to the Tekken 3, like, run. That makes sense. That's a good pick, DJ. That's a good pick. Griff says only true pro gamers play on their fridge.
Skyrim with guns.
Let's see. Oh, okay, that's Devin there. Garrick, my good old Crimson Chin, my friend. How are you? How are you doing? You doing good?
Pretty good.
That's great. I don't fucking care. What is the greatest game of all time to you,
Rude,
my friend? That's what I care about.
Can everybody shame Ernell in chat for
shame me? Shame me and see what happens. Shame me and see what happens.
Shame. Dude, you know what? There's a lot of games that I feel like anybody could argue for this position. I think it's funny that Devin said Breath of the Wild, because the one that just comes to mind immediately for me is also a Legend of Zelda game, and that would be Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
I thought
Good
about
choice.
that. I
Good
thought about
choice. Good
Ocarina,
choice. I like that.
but I weighed it because I was like, you can kind of do more in Breath of the Wild,
Sure,
and that's the only
that's
reason
fair.
why I
That's
went
fair.
that route.
And you can, but you can never undo the fact that Ocarina of Time, it is just a generation defining game.
It is.
Like it spawned so many insane franchises from its absolutely beautiful masterpiece of a game. And it still holds up. Like maybe not graphically, but mechanically and like the puzzles all so good. To this day, it is just a gem of a game, and it still feels good to play it, to go back and accomplish it even now. Like anybody who's played Ocarina of Time, like if you've played it once, you've played it a dozen times, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
And you can get through like a full playthrough in like 2 days, easy peasy, because like we've all played it so many times, right? But you're just like, yep, that felt good. And like I think that's the thing about it, is it's still talked about, it's still beloved. And I firmly believe that if it wasn't for Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda would have never been Legend of Zelda that we know and love today.
I think that is 100% fair, because Ocarina of Time, for all sense of the phrase, changed the game. Because that was like sort of the original adventure game, right? Like the original like 3D
it was
adventure,
like 3D action adventure game. Like that was it. Like it had puzzles. It had like really deep combat at the time. Like enemies had like attack patterns. You had to learn how they attacked. You had to learn how to counter them. Bosses had really specific mechanics that required you to sometimes do them multiple times in a row to be able to succeed. And it was always really gratifying to be able to do it and move on to the next thing. And there are so many games today that have like mimicked at least something from Legend of Zelda and brought it and incorporated it into like just regular gameplay, and that's just commonplace now
in some way or another. Yeah.
There's one thing to be said about Zelda games, because if you think about it, they're always generationally defining, because they either influence their direct sequels or almost every other like adventure RPG out there, because there are so many elements that come from those games that go into other games, whether it be art style, the way that like boss battles go, with the 3-hit rule, and then you can do the damage and stuff like that. The different phases, the exploration, like Genshin Impact essentially, and Phoenix Rising, they both look like Breath of the Wild games.
To be fair,
and a lot
Immortals Phoenix Rising was supposed to be a copy. So I guess like to be
that was always
fair,
intended to be like, they literally were just like, we're just gonna take assets from Assassin's Creed Odyssey and we're gonna make a Breath of the Wild game with it, and it works for them. But like the thing is like the fact that like just Legend of Zelda is just so like it's just replicated but never duplicated.
Right. That's
fair. I see. The thing is, I don't disagree with your statement either, because greatest games of all times are just like impactful games, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And not just to consumers, but to the industry, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. I also want to add, I hate that I taught Devin things, because Devin being able to go into stream elements when I haven't even showed him the login, how to navigate it, anything at all, he just picked it up, ran with it, and somehow added a fucking shame command
on the quick
based on the hit show Game of Thrones.
What I'm telling you, dog. Fucking ding ding.
Shame.
I mean, I feel it's needed. I feel like it's an appropriate command. We can use that a lot.
That's fair. That's fair. And I'll find a way to butter it up too. Griff in the chat. I'm gonna double down on Spec Ops: The Line. Highly underrated masterpiece. Explored mental health. Didn't glorify militaristic violence. Made the player make hard, impactful decisions that made them really look at the consequences of their own actions. That's a solid choice, Griff. I haven't played that in so long, I feel like. I never play Spec Ops games. Or like rarely ever did, but there were like 3 Spec Ops games that I played, and I loved all 3 of them. Like Spec Ops had it going down, dude.
I never played Spec Ops. I've heard that though before. Either.
They were good games. My
DJ, I'll agree with you. Fallout New Vegas is a fucking masterpiece, and I know Garrick and I love Fallout because today we're playing Fallout 76. Yeah,
oh, Jesus Christ.
Play with us. It's on Game Pass. We're low level. Yeah, we're low level as fuck.
I hate you both.
Just come.
I hate you
both.
Explore. You guys keep throwing me games I need to fucking play, and I have the time now, so I can't say that I don't have the time. So I'm just like,
now is the time, friend. Let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah,
I love you guys so much.
Like, look, Ernell. I understand that you have some interviews, but I have at least until next Monday before I can go back to work. So if you are not playing 76 with us at all,
I have 4 days off this week. I don't go back to work till Saturday,
dude. Yeah,
God damn it,
it's time.
Yeah, it's time. You fucking download that game and you play it with us. God damn it! I still have to beat Horizon. I still have to fucking. I understand that you have to do that, but at least set aside a couple hours to play some games with your fucking friends. Okay?
Yeah, dog.
Damn, you know what? I'm shaming myself in chat for that. God damn, you just cooked me, dog. You just fucking.
I love you. Calling you out publicly.
I love you too, baby. I love you too.
You feel the like beaming sensation from everybody that you have to play with us now.
I know. I have no escape now. I have no escape. So I'll let you boys.
Garrick has another person who's going to play with us as well, and I know there's other people that we play games with that are going to hear that we're playing that, and they're going to be like, "Wait, Fallout 76 multiplayer?
Look, it's on Game Pass. It's on Game Pass.
You don't even have to buy it.
Let's go.
How big's the download?
It's pretty big.
Like 30. Oh no, it's like 60 gigs, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say 3. Oh shit, 60.
No,
okay, that's
30. It was originally 30.
It's 60 gigs.
About 60.
And I'm not gonna go on about this, but the amount of NPCs and like different things they've put into the game since its original release makes it extremely fun.
It's not even the same game it was at launch.
It's not like
they know Man's Skied it.
Yeah, it gets a lot of hate still because of their release, but it's actually a good game now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, greatest game of all time.
God of War.
Surprisingly not. I did think about God of War because that game's really fucking good, and it does have all the pieces to make it a potential greatest video game of all time, but it just does a couple of things that could have been done just a wee bit better, and I think that kept me from doing it. The one game that came to mind for me that I felt just was perfect, as DJ says, Cyberpunk 2077. Just for the sex scenes. Listen, those sex scenes are wild, dog. I remember like getting into the first one. I was like, oh shit, they're showing all this shit. I was like, oh wow, they're really doing this.
You're like, okay.
The greatest game of all time, gentlemen, is The Last of Us.
I just haven't played it. That's
Here's
that's
why.
my thing. I literally have nothing against it, but I know a great number of people who would shout from the rooftops in agreement with you.
I will say its cinematic value is important because it is a truly cinematic game with a cinematic story that does grip you emotionally. But the gameplay is, especially for the first one, is honestly
you're wrong.
Atrocious.
Whatever you're about to say, you're wrong.
And
you're fucking wrong.
Notoriously said to be atrocious.
You want to know what
wrong.
you want?
I'm not wrong about
that. As a person who's never played The Last of Us, I still believe that game saved single player experiences,
which is where I come in here. Uh, First off, before I get into that, DG says Panam Palmer is a hottie in Cyberpunk, and I will 100% agree because I have 8 of her pictures saved to my phone. I don't want to talk about it. She's kind of been
Surreal's already on it.
she's kind of been my video
bonked
game
boy.
crush since playing Cyberpunk. I will be completely DJ. I love you,
Dude,
dog. I love
Loba's
you.
mine, honestly. Let's be real.
Griff says the combat is atrocious on purpose because it's meant to be avoided. Yes, very much so. Now here's the deal. Okay, outside because obviously there's conversation to be had about that. The Last of Us, we talked about it just a bit ago with both the games that you guys picked, right? The Last of Us changed shit. They changed shit. With having a game for the first time in a long time give us the cinematic experience that The Last of Us gave us, pushed every other game afterwards to want to do the same thing. And the graphical fidelity in The Last of Us was just comparison to none other than The Last of Us, pushed studios to want to make their graphical fidelity and artwork even better. The combat, sure, was janky here and there, but the overarching use of that janky gameplay, the over-the-shoulder third-person combat was 100% game changing because they figured out how to do the third person over the shoulder combat correctly, where every game prior to them tried to and just could not fucking pull it off. They couldn't pull off how smooth it was. You remember games like Army of Two, games like The Division.
That gameplay chugged.
There were games that tried to do it and they just could not get the smooth feeling of over-the-shoulder third-person combat and just gameplay generally speaking, because The Last of Us has the entire game as third-person over-the-shoulder, and they nailed it because that's a big part of why that game feels so cinematic, because they were able to nail that down. On top of that, the story is... oh my God, you can't compare the caliber of The Last of Us story to any other game besides maybe Breath of the fucking Wild, right? Because that's kind of what held Breath of the Wild up the way that it did. That story is great, but the Last of Us just did something to the games industry where it set them up to have The Last of Us 2 be as good as it is. It set them up to have Uncharted 3 be as good as it is. It set up God of War to be as good as it is. We talk about games that change the field of the video game industry. The Last of Us is it. The Last of Us is fucking it, boys.
I would say it again, it's up there. But yeah, combat is just atrocious. That's all.
I mean, sure.
The thing is that's not what the game was about,
game.
nor its focus.
And that game was definitely before The Division. I just want to fact check us while we talk about it. It was quite a few years before The Division came out, because we're talking about a PS3 game, right? You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah,
this is a PS3 game. Mm-hmm. It was definitely defining for its time. I give you that. It definitely was. And
not even just for its time though. Even to this date. There's games
literally
that take influence from The Last of Us. Yeah, this game is one of the most cultural zeitgeist games. The only reason people are not currently talking about The Last of Us right now is because the daunting 50-50 split between the people that like The Last of Us 2. People still the people that didn't like The Last of Us 2 didn't like it because they liked The Last of Us so much. The people that did like The Last of Us 2 liked it because they liked The Last of Us so much. It's either way that you hash it, The Last of Us 1 has been such a pivotal place in the video games industry in in every way, shape, and form, whether it came from the voice actors now becoming actors to play these parts in the way that they did, the technical prowess, the artistic prowess, the story prowess that came into this game to give us a game that was that good. There's no way I can deny it the place of saying that arguably greatest game of all time to me. It just to me, I can't think of another game that hits that in modern day times. I can't think of another game that hits the way that Tilu does without looking just 15, 20 years ago to fucking Mario 64. Like, that's the, I can't think of another game that has like changed the industry for where we are in games right now. Like we wouldn't have games that look as good as God of War if it wasn't for Tilo. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have games that look as good as like
it's true
Forspoken without Tilo. Like maybe Final Fantasy would have pushed them into a direction eventually, but I think Tilo getting the Naughty Dog getting that engine down for Tilo was a big push for the games industry, and that's incredible, man. That's incredible, dude. Now, granted, all three of us have really fucking good answers because Breath of the Wild is really a fucking good game. Like I can't think of a single person that has ever legitimately said, I don't like Breath of the Wild, right? Like, I've heard people say, like, it feels really empty. It could have used more, but, like, no game is perfect, right? Like, we're not talking what game is perfect. We're talking about what is the greatest video game of all time. And if no video game is perfect, then sure, like, something like that has some space to, like, take it in. Ocarina of Time, legendary ass game. Right. Like Garrick explained it perfectly. It's one of the most classic action adventure games. We wouldn't have most of the games that we played to this date if it wasn't for Ocarina of Time.
It spawned so many franchise. Like any puzzle based action platformer, like an action adventure platformer, like it has something it pulled from Ocarina of Time. Something nuts.
Yeah, very much so. Griff in the chat says, I love Tilo 2. It was an intense character exploration commentary on society. I, too, also loved it, Griff. A lot of people have argued with me to the fucking ground about why I love that game. And so many people that I know fucking couldn't stand it, but fuck them. You know what I'm saying? It's me and you, Griff. It's me and you in this world. Does this surreal say you haven't even played it, Ginger?
Yeah, I'm like, I can still follow the news on the game, even though I've played it before.
Damn, surreal out here, dog. Surreal out here. DJ says, anyone think The Witcher 3 belongs in this talk? I would say almost. The issue with Witcher 3 is that the game is fucking bloated as shit. The game is bloated as all fuck. There is so much to do in The Witcher 3 that, like...
The reason Witcher 3 can't be on this list is because of the Skellig Giles. That's why Witcher 3 can't be on this list. That's it.
That's fair.
That is it.
That's fair. Those things are broken as fuck,
like,
right?
Like, oh my god! Zooming out, you should not be allowed to see that many question marks on a fucking in one spot.
Yeah.
It's anxiety. It's anxiety.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the Witcher 3 could be, but
it has potential. Like, it's definitely like iconic, but it just did some weird things. It in the same sense that like there are some Assassin's Creed games that you could argue for, but it just has some things you're just like, it did some shit just weird enough.
Yeah.
That it like you're just like the other stuff just did it better.
Right.
Ooh, DJ makes a good point. Metal Gear Solid 3 is a fantastic game.
It is a fantastic game. I would argue it's maybe too niche. Maybe.
Yeah.
Very niche. Yeah.
Like very niche. But it is a fucking superb game, right? Like of all the Metal Gear Solid, Devin, would you say 3 was your Metal Gear Solid? Was that the one that you would maybe vote as the one?
So I've played all of them. Except I haven't beaten 5 yet. And again, it just comes across it's kind of like that Witcher 3 thing where it's so daunting because of how much is there.
Bloated as fuck. Yeah.
Yep. And a lot of the same thing can be said about just brain fart, but Assassin's Creed Valhalla, again, another game with just a bunch of shit.
Even Odyssey, even fucking Odyssey, dude. Odyssey is just out of this.
I haven't beaten either of those games.
Jesus, man.
But I've put about 80 plus hours into Odyssey and probably like 30 or 40 into Valhalla, and I just haven't beaten them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Griff says, is 3 the Metal Gear Solid that you can kill a boss by changing the time of your console? Yes. DJ, I finished 5 and it's the most new player friendly, but 3 captures all of Kojima's magic in one game. It very much does, and that's the game that like clarified to the industry that Kojima's a fucking genius, right? Like he's just an absolute out of this world genius. Like I cannot believe that this universe has gifted us Kojima as a game developer, because good lord, that man is just way too smart for all of us.
We got fucking lucky, man.
Oh god, seriously, dude. Like, we don't deserve Kojima, if I be completely honest with y'all. We really, really, really do not. Gentlemen, good conversation. All three of our games, very, very solid. Very, very
understand
solid
everybody's
picks.
pick.
Oh yeah,
I do too.
Picks.
I do too. And like, I do want to say, I definitely love The Last of Us. That there was just that one fault that I felt like just kind of puts it under other games, because I would just want to say the combat in Breath of the Wild and even Ocarina of Time is very fluid.
It is. I mean, the thing is too is like all three of our games have their faults, right? Like Breath of the Wild is empty as all fuck. That game is so fucking empty.
Only in a certain area. In a lot of other biome areas, it's actually very, very full. It's just a matter I'd say that first like 25%.
I don't mean
like that.
I don't mean empty as environmental. I mean empty as stuff to do. Because it's like, yeah, there's stuff to do, but there's not as much as there should have been, right? Like it could have been more. Garrick's pick with Ocarina of Time, like its fault really is just it just doesn't
product
age
of
well.
Its time, yeah.
It just doesn't age well, and like even though it was pivotal for that time, it's like nobody would ever say. Well, I wouldn't say nobody, but there's very few that would say I've never played Ocarina of Time. Go and play it and say this feels like a good game. Right, because it's like it just doesn't age well. Like the story magnificent, the gameplay magnificent for what it was back then, but it just it doesn't hold up anymore. The Last of Us, like very obviously, had some mechanical issues with its stuff, and they didn't clean it up until T-Lu 2. But like I said, everything else in it is magnificent enough to make up for that fact. So it's like there's surreal. You don't age well. I normally would say you're right, but to be completely honest with you, you're fucking wrong, because I looked like just a dork at fucking 18 years old. I aged pretty damn well. Fuck you, Surreal. Everyone at home, we are going to do a quick fact check in our Discord, and nothing. We fucking nailed it, boys. Let's go. Our schedule this week, tomorrow. We are back here with another Ocean Shrine story time. I am playing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, my very first full PS5 experience. You guys can give me a flex in chat if you want this, because I have a PS5. Fuck all of you.
I changed you preemptively. And there's a flex.
Oh damn! Thank you. Oh damn! You both gave me the flex. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I will take two, because one's for the PS5 and one's for me.
Wait,
well.
it took two. It took two.
On Thursday, we are doing another live recording of the Shipwreck Show, exclusive to our patrons. If you guys want access to that, make sure you go and check out. DJ, the flexes are left to our moderators, so you guys can't just add random fucking flexes in there. You can't be messing up our count on here. All right. I love you, DJ. I love you. If you want access to that, go check out our Patreon. That is patreon.com/goodkrakenshow. Guys, hit with that link in chat for me. And then Friday, we got another episode of Splash Damage. This week, we are playing Prop Night. This game has been getting a lot of love from the gaming community, unlike the unfortunate train wreck that happened last Friday with Trash Sailors. We will actually be playing a good game.
I just want to say preemptively, Xander and I tried to be like, guys, we shouldn't do this.
Oh, fuck off. Nobody knew, and none of us knew anything about this goddamn game before we went into it. Like, then we got into it. I was willing
to try.
I was willing to try it too. Griff says charge your shit this time.
Yeah, dog. Holy shit.
I got my PS5 controller charging right now as we speak, so it's good. We're good. I'm making a difference. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all chat. And then Saturday we got another good Kraken podcast where we will be reviewing Scream. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited for that. Guys at home, please let us know what you think was the greatest video game of all time. Let us know in the comments below. Let us know in chat. Let us know on Twitter. Just hit us up. We like hearing from all of y'all. Let us know in our Discord. Join the fucking Discord. You know what I'm saying? You want our Discord in your life.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Discord.
there we go. Yeah, drop that. Both y'all. Damn, you both on top of it, baby. Let's go. Let's go. You guys can be on top of it. And we will be on top of you because this has been the Good Kraken Podcast. Your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you wanted to hear. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 12 p.m. right here at twitch.tv/GoodKrakenShow. If you enjoyed the show, you can head on over to patreon.com/GoodKrakenShow, where you can submit questions and topics to the show. You get exclusive post-show content, and you have early access to episodes before they go live on podcasts and video services across the digital sea. Give it to me.
Yard.
I love that. Devin sounds like a tiger. You can also support us by going to our YouTube channel by clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken and leaving a review there. We are running a wee bit behind, so we're not going to do a post show tonight. But until next time, my friends, be good to each other.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.